Hello everybody, my name is Samuel. Welcome to Editing Stuff, and let's get into the video. So first up, we open up After Effects, we go to new composition, we give it a name, animation. Now we check the resolution, 1080p, 1920 by 1080, then 24 frames per second, and press OK. We go to our title bar, click on the text layer and type in the word move. I don't actually like this font. I need something that looks a little bit more handwritten, like calligraphy. So I'm going to go and look for a font I like, Black Sword. Now I open up the dialog box beside the resolution and the zoom, and click on title action save and press OK. This just helped me centralize my image a little bit more. Now I go back to the text box, I click on the pen tool because I want to draw a layer mask inside the text. Now if you are drawing layer marks, make sure that what you want to draw the layer marks inside is selected. If you don't select it, it's going to draw a shape layer, not a layer marks. Now I go to the text, I click at the beginning when I want my animation to begin, and I start tracing it through the middle. You don't even need to get it very accurate, just make sure that your lines are following the path. Now I click on this other side and I drag it. You drag it so that you can add a little bit more curve to the text that you're working on. So click and drag. As you're clicking and dragging, you realize that there are some curves that start shifting because of new points you're putting in your layer marks. So all you're just going to do is you're going to go back, click on the point. You will see two arrows go up and come down like that. So you can use the two arrows to change the positions of the curve so that you can adjust it based on the new curve. Make sure you don't combine the two ends of the layer mask together because it's going to clip it short, and we don't want that. Now get ready for a time lapse. Now when you're done with your M, I want to create a new layer mask so that I can have the M, that's our major first animation, come out first, then the OVE come out second. So what I just need to do is I come back, click the move tool, then go back and click the pen tool. When you click the move tool, it's like telling After Effects that okay, I'm done with what I'm animating, let me create a new layer mask. So when you are going back to click it, you are creating a new layer mask. If you don't do that, your last point of the M will join with the new point of the O. So let's just keep clicking and tracing the same way we trace the M. We are going to trace the OVE. Now when I'm done with creating my layer marks for my MOVE, I go down to the timeline when I can see my move text. I left click on it and it brings out a fallout menu. I navigate until I see effects. Then I click generate. In the generate, now we have another fallout menu, and from that fallout menu I'm going to click on stroke. When you click on stroke, it's going to bring out a lot of properties in the effects panel. So what you're going to do is, first of all, go down to point style and change it to reveal original image, then select all marks. So normally by default it will be left on max 1 alone, so I'm going to click all marks. Next I'm going to click on stroke sequentially, make sure it's clicked. So what you're going to do now is you are going to increase your brush size. So you go to the brush side, it will form a two-way arrow, so you click and you drag towards your right hand side, and you see it's increasing by itself. Now it's time for our animation. To animate this is really easy. All you need to do is go to your effects panel, select end there, drag the end point down to 0, move your cursor to the beginning of your timeline, then make a keyframe there. Now move towards 1 second, move 1 second in your timeline, then go back to the same end point, increase it down to 100, and now you have a basic animation. Now, as you can see, there are some parts of the video, for example, the V, that is the stroke of the V is entering the E before the E gets animated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the layer mask a little bit upward so that it doesn't interfere with the next layer mask that much. So that's what I'm going to do now. You play it back, it's looking good now. I'm not seeing any spillovers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the move, I'm going to left click, I'm going to scroll down to pre-compose. You see move all to existing layer, you click it, then you press OK. So now it pre-composes your layer for you. Pre-compose is like what your effects now, it moves everything into another composition so that you can play with it without changing the original properties of the effect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate it, and to duplicate, shortcut press Ctrl D. So I duplicate it 3 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move 3 frames into the timeline. So I'm going to just arrange the layers one by one so that all of them can be following each other as they are animating. So as of now I cannot say anything because all of them have the same color. So I go to the effects and preset panel and I search for fill. Now under generate, I go to fill. You can see it under eyedropper fill. So I click, I drag, and I place it on top the first layer. So I want the final color to be white, so I'm going to change the fill color to white, and you can see it has added a white fill on the background. So I do that for the 3 of them. So I want to make it red, green, blue, and white. So I go to the first panel, it's already on red. So I go to the second panel, I click the color, I change it to green. Okay, now the last one is blue. Let's play it one more time. Like it, but I have a feeling it's starting and ending too fast. So what I do, I open up the pre-composed layer and I want to edit the keyframe I made. So I press U. U shows me every keyframe under a particular layer. So it shows me the beginning and end animation. So I click the end animation and drag it towards 2 seconds because I want it to end at 2 seconds. So I'm okay with this. So I move back to the main animation layer and play it through. I like this. So we can render and we are done. So that's everything about making the effect. It was really easy. So just practice. Anything that gives you issues, comment down in the comment section. I will be sure to answer you. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on Wednesday with another video.